Alright, today we're going to be tearing into a 1975 Kawasaki F9 350. It's a two-stroke air-cooled motor, and we've already pulled the carb side cover off. You can look at that on a separate video. We are going to go through, pull this countershaft sprocket cover off, and just kind of break this whole thing down. We'll tear the cylinder head off, the cylinder intake, and then we'll end up splitting the case. So we've got this, some of these bolts, these Phillips screws loose already, just because of the challenge that they are. And your clutch cable runs down into this area here. 3 Phillips screws to remove this one. Move our block here and see a little bit better. And there is that, and what it does is you pull the clutch lever, it pushes that in. So that is, here's the clutch rod here, it goes in. There'll be a separate piece that goes to the other side. So this is the clutch cable here going down into this, and we'll remove that at some point. So we've got cover here we'll go ahead and remove, and this will take an impact driver, and on these older motorcycles with the Phillips screws all over, these impact drivers are almost a must-have. So get them loosened up, just one hit with those, and that does a pretty good job of getting them loose. This cover, it looks like 3 bolts there, and that one's already out. Tap on that there. There is your flywheel there and your stator underneath. We'll need a bigger socket for those 2 pieces there, so we'll continue working around here. We've got 3 bolts holding this chain guard on. And these impact drivers just work so slick to pull these off. Alright, and that is off. We got a motor mount here that we were waiting to pull that cover off so we could get that motor mount pulled off completely. Just kind of a miscellaneous pile here. And we might flip this over, work on the other side, maybe do the top end now. And then grab a set of bigger 19mm to pull this head off. We've got 4 bolts, and these are kind of an unusual bolt. We'll get one of them pulled completely out here. It's threaded on the inside, so not like your normal bolt. Go ahead and remove those. And I don't know what we're going to find inside this motor. It obviously came to us not running. So we'll go ahead and pull these off. There are 13. Alright, and then that cylinder head's ready to come off there. So that is the dome of the carburetor. You've got your spark plug hole here, your secondary here, and that's your head. It looks in really good condition. No broken fins, and this piston actually looks in good condition too, just from this angle. Maybe crank may be locked up, but all right, we'll go ahead and see if we can get this pulled off. Now these are sometimes a bit of a challenge. You don't want to pry in a spot that's going to break a fin. If you can find a spot that's solid to kind of pry on. And you don't ever want to beat on it too hard, but sometimes to get them off, you got to do what it takes. We might be struggling here for a little while. All right, we do have a little bit of movement. Use a little WD-40 here. Okay, while we're letting that stuff soak, I am going to pull this intake off here. We have 10 millimeters. There's a boot that sits here. This is just for your air filter. Goes in through this area here. Goes in, goes to this other side here where your carburetor sits. So while we're waiting for that cylinder to kind of free up, we're going to flip it over this side. And again, I said we already pulled a cover there and removed the carburetor. I showed you videos on how to clean that carburetor, go through it, check it out really good. Got 17 millimeter to remove this Kickstarter. Oh, you know what? We're going to do the 14. And that is a small 14. So skinny, so we might see. Get it held on there really good before we start. There we go. Able to get that pulled off of there. We'll see how difficult this is. Kickstarter's in really good shape. Alright. There we go. Kickstarter's off there. Okay, now we've got a mess of Phillips screws all the way around here to remove to pull this clutch cover off. So we'll go ahead and grab the impact driver, start pounding away. I guess I did loosen up some of these. Let's see if maybe I got them all loosened up here. Alright, we got a good majority of them pulled off here. I'm going to go ahead and remove this oil pump. 2 Phillips screws to remove the oil pump. The intake manifold is there, and it just pops right off with 2 Phillips screws. There we go. And this line right here, go ahead and remove that. That line's probably bad, but an 8mm to remove that one. And this is a banjo bolt here, so just make sure you put the right bolt back in there, meaning it's got a hole all the way through the center of it. So that's the oil pump. No screws in behind it. So it looks like this clutch cover is ready to come off here. Be really careful. Might grab a rubber mallet for this to remove that. And we'll go ahead and pull that cover off there. Sometimes once you get that seal broken, it'll pop right off of there. Like it's wanting to go here, but not quite. Need to be able to get a swing from the bottom. There we go. It's free all the way around. So now just getting it the rest of the way off. Be really careful using a screwdriver. I don't like doing that. Clean that area up really good where you use that, and you don't ever want to twist your screwdriver. You want to hold it as flat as possible. You don't ever want to pry too much with it, but then once you're able to get your hand in there, it keeps it from scuffing up too bad. So there's your clutch there. We've got obviously a lot of corrosion in there, and we've got your gear there for your tack. Got your rotary here, your rotary cover, and rotary underneath there. We'll go ahead and pull that clutch. Got 10mm. And we'll see how bad this clutch is. See if it's salvageable at all. It doesn't smell good. It's obviously gotten wet. Go ahead and pull this off here. Remove this. And we've got a good sized nut underneath of there. Pull both of those off. Oh my. This is in rough shape. Okay, we'll get this doused with WD-40 and may as well do a couple different things here because it looks like we're going to need them. All right, now we will go ahead and maybe see if we can get this cylinder removed. Again, don't want to be on a place that's going to break a Okay, we'll work on this flywheel here. Pull both of these off. And then I'm going to spray some WD-40 down in this area. I'll leave that one off. And we'll grab this flywheel puller here. Okay, we'll run these in. And make sure that we get these threaded on quite a ways just to make sure they don't slip out. Keep a little bit of pressure on there, and sometimes that'll just pop off, or what a lot of times what I'll do is take a socket, put it on there, take a hammer, there you go. You can kind of hear a difference there when it pops off. So